swear to you, I swear this was it. This was my moment. 15 years in prison, didn't even think of suicide. I now know I've got an issue. I don't even know what the issue really is. I just can't say no to cocaine. I knew I'm gonna kill myself. I cuddled them all real tight, kissed them on the head, but I'm sad. I set it up, I'm going, it's happening. I'm just about to do it, and something just come through my head, don't do it. So instead, I took it off my neck and just I only had to go 2 steps back and the wall's there, yeah? I promise you, it's brutal.
How many years have you done in prison total?
15 years and 1 month.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was when you was younger then as well?
Started in 1995, Phelton.
Yeah, okay.
Yesterday I celebrated 30 days again.
Yes.
30 days, but thank you. I even clapped myself,
yes, come on.
30 days, yes, I'm
Yes.
31 today. And I look back on that life now, I wasted it. That's why I call my business the Waste Man, but yeah. My mum died before she got to see me clean. She's watching me from above now, but she died before she went, all she ever wanted me to get off drugs. It's happened, but she didn't get to see it.
Clean energy. You know it's clean, clean energy. Yeah, we keep it clean, the energy. You know it's clean energy. You know it's clean, clean energy. Yeah. Clean energy.
Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of the Clean Energy Show. Today we've got a very special guest in the building. This is someone that I've been looking forward to having a good conversation with for a while now, because I know he's got a strong message for the people. It's safe to say he's passionate about spreading awareness, and today we're talking about addiction. Mental health is real, addiction is real, and I think it's about time we talk about it. So without further ado, we've got my brother Eddie McGinty in the building.
How you doing, sweet?
How's it going, brother?
You
All right?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah. Thanks for having me.
So tell me, addiction, where did it all start for you, bro?
Couldn't really tell you, so a young age probably, I started selling a bit of weed and that, solids back then days. I was 12, 13, and then I didn't smoke it at first, and then moving on a little bit, I went to young offenders prison when I was 15, and I started smoking weed in there.
Okay.
Probably boredom when I
Yeah.
first lit up a joint, yeah.
So you started smoking when you was inside
In
prison, yeah? Phelton, yeah?
Phelton, yeah.
So it was boredom.
Yeah,
That's where a lot
probably
of people...
banged up with someone, he's smoking every day,
Yeah.
and in the end, I had a joint, yeah.
Oh, so you're the guy you was banged up with,
He was smoking, and I just joined in.
So it's an inevitable.
Yeah, something to do probably, yeah.
Yeah. What age was that?
15.
But it's about the same age that most people
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
start drinking and taking drugs and that.
My friends were smoking that before I was
Okay.
15. I just never choose to smoke it back then. Then I started, and there was no stopping me. Yeah, I smoked weed every day and
Yeah.
solids, and then it went on to skunk and that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and was that from the morning time?
As soon as I woke up,
Yeah.
it got to as soon as I woke up. Yeah, I'd have a joint, and then yeah, just be stoned all day
How long would you say from when you started that it become like you was relying on it?
straight away.
Yeah.
I think so. When I
Locked
look
in.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved it. Just sitting around your mate's house and that, smoking weed.
That was all fun and games. Was there ever a point with like smoking weed where you didn't enjoy it?
No, not really. What happened was I smoked it all 6 years. When I was 21, I got a big prison sentence.
Okay.
And by the time I come out, some of the jails I was in, there wasn't really much weed.
Okay.
I was in like an ACAT system and that, like there's no real skunk and solids in there. You might get the odd joint here and there. And then I got into gym a lot and that then. So I just gave up weed. It just naturally happened. It wasn't because I said I'm going to give it up.
Yeah.
And then when I landed road, I think I had a few joints and I just didn't like it no more. It's like you liking McDonald's all your life and then one day you just don't like it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like weed no more, so I gave it up.
What did you go inside for? You said you had a big sentence in 21.
Oh, we tied someone up in a robbery and
Okay.
yeah, we went to jail for a long time.
Yeah. How long was you?
We got caught with firearms.
Okay. So how long was you inside for?
My Cody got 14 years. He got 14 because he just got released 2 weeks before from doing a 6 for a robbery. So they gave him 14.
Okay.
I got 9. My other Cody got 7. But out of it, I done 7 years.
How many years have you done in prison in total?
15 years and 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was when you was younger then as well?
Started in 1995, Phelton.
Yeah. Okay.
The Phelton, you can only go there from the ages of 15 to 21. I probably nearly spent 4 years in young offenders, all separate young offenders. Out of them, 6 years you can be in there.
Okay.
And then adults prison for years, yeah. In total, it was 15-1 served.
And how long have you been free for?
8 years now.
Yes. How's
Yeah.
that been?
Perfect.
Yeah?
It was hard at first.
Yeah. What, adjusting to being...
Just
of course.
adjusting. And my associates are all my friends.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
We were the same. I didn't have many normal friends or straight friends, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I had a few.
Yeah,
I didn't have a lot. Every time you come out of prison, the first thing you do is you go back to your group.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And they're bad. So
Yeah.
you carry on being bad.
Yeah, makes sense, though.
I don't even think I ever wanted to change at some stages. I enjoyed that life.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
There's a lot of highs, a lot of thrills.
Yeah,
and the
loads.
higher life as well, and obviously
All
money.
of that, quick money, fast
yeah.
money,
Yeah.
spend it quick, make it again. Some days have no money, next day have loads of money.
What's your view on that now?
When I look back on that life now, I wasted it. That's why I call my business the Waste Man. But yeah.
Yes, so tell them, what are you doing right now? What's your business?
I have a company, the Waste. I go around collecting rubbish.
Yeah.
And I named it the Waste Man.
Sick. That's a good name, though.
We had
I
a
love
few
that.
names, but my daughter was like, the Waste Man.
Yeah.
And it just clicked straight away.
I
If
love
I'm
it.
going to be brutally honest, if
Yeah.
you spend your whole life in jail and you carry on spending your whole life in jail without ever changing and having a bit of a new life, you're a waste man.
Yeah.
I was a waste man. So
Yeah.
I'm not cussing the world who are still doing it. They're just lost.
Yeah, of course.
They're
yeah.
just lost.
Yeah.
I'm not lost no more. I have a purpose.
That's a good point you said there. So obviously you've been in and out of jail from, was it 13?
15.
15.
I went children's homes when I was a kid, before
So
15.
you was in a children's home before?
First.
Tell me about, how did that come around?
A judge basically said my mum can't control me.
Okay.
And because I keep getting arrested. My mum's a good mum, solid
Yeah,
mum, real
yeah,
good.
yeah.
But what can you do if your kid's not going to listen?
Yeah. You say you're troublesome.
Yeah, she never signed me over. She was heartbroken.
Yeah, of course.
Killed her, ripped her in bits.
Right.
They sent social services to my house to take me to my children's home. They took me to Wales. And there was a lot of kids in the children's home what were like kids what had been abused and things like that. I hadn't had none of that. I come from the street. I was naughty.
Yeah.
So like I didn't accept that children's home and just done whatever I wanted to do in there. And then they soon moved me on. And before you knew it, I was in a children's home in London. I just got moved around.
All around London, yeah?
Basically, a few of them. Then I turned 15 and they put me back in prison. They put me in prison, sorry, for the first time.
Do you feel like, so you must have felt, looking back at that, you must have felt quite lost from a young age.
Yeah, when I got took there, I was only young. Some stages of it was exciting.
Okay.
I felt like by then I was already very streetwise.
Okay.
I wasn't scared, like intimidated. I
Yeah.
just went. If I look back on it, I don't think I was.
Was you hanging around with older people?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
our group, there was older people and youngers.
So obviously you started smoking weed in prison.
Feltham, yeah.
Feltham, 15, 16?
Yeah, 15.
And then, so that's escalated to other drugs later on.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a drug dealer now
Okay.
at 15. Even though I was in jail for crime,
Yeah.
I'm a dealer when I'm out.
Yeah.
So then, you progress up the ladder, don't you? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start off as a weed dealer. The people above you, people who I probably looked up to when I was a kid, because they got nice motors, nice watches, look like they got everything nice.
Yeah.
You want to be like them. So I followed them. And then you sell weed, and then before you know it, you're selling cocaine.
Yeah.
Coke was the same as well for me. I was selling coke before I started sniffing it, really. Only little bits, like packets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I worked my way up the ladder quick. Some good links with people, if you want to call it that now. Look back, it's all pathetic. But right now, when I look back on it, at 18, I was moving boxes, like moving them good, like loads, bundles.
Would you say, obviously, I'm guessing like having it around you though, it makes it easier once you do start taking it. It's there,
Yeah,
then.
so
That's
started
an issue,
taking
right?
it. And I don't know, like even though I weren't really shy anywhere on the street and that, maybe I was a little bit. And when I took coke, back then coke was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't really have no problems with it. It was all right. It was cool. It wasn't every day. It was just every now and again.
Yep.
But then it led to you want more of it.
Yeah.
You want more of it. And you're right, you're selling it. So you got stacks of it around you. But what would happen with me was, I believe I would have been a real addict back then. But prison saved me.
Right.
Because when I went to prison, I didn't sniff cocaine.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I couldn't get it. You could get it if you really wanted to, but it's not a drug of choice in the prison system in the UK.
Okay.
Like heroin is. No one really wants to sniff
You'll be like pinging in
You'll be
one
just
locked
sitting
up.
in your block in your cell,
Yeah,
23 hours a day, sniffed out your nut.
Whereas weed would be more mellow, chilled.
Yeah, and heroin, like they go sleep on it and all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people take heroin in prison.
Did you ever?
No, I never touched it. It was like classed as a. I don't look at it like this now.
Yeah.
Because of what I've gone through. But heroin, it was like you're like the lower class smoking in jail.
Yeah.
No one really hung around with them.
What about spice?
That's a new thing. So
Okay.
Spice come in when I was just getting released. That's
Yeah.
when Spice really hit the system.
Okay.
But no, I'd never touched none of that. I was
That's
yes.
that catches people off guard now.
Yeah,
like,
it's like heroin and crack all in one. It ruins them.
is that what it is?
Yeah, I've watched some good boys in jail like go back to their cell and just kill themselves because they go mental on Spice. They're screaming, and they hang themselves at night and dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good, solid men, but they got a Spice addiction when they was in jail.
I've seen people that I used to hang around with a long time ago. And they've been in jail for a long time. Now they're on that. They look completely different.
Yeah.
They've lost like,
Spice is ruined. It's ruined the actual prison system.
wow.
If you watch all these videos you see on YouTubes and that of people smoking Spice, it's wrecked the jail system. There is some good people in jail, but Spice has just destroyed it.
And that wasn't around when you was in though.
No, it was around.
Yeah,
it was coming out. Yeah, it was coming out, but I would never touch anyway because it was like heroin and that.
Yeah.
That's just one drug I've never touched,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I never because it's the hardest one to get off as well.
What about like MDMA and like ecstasy and that?
I banged all that out, yeah, when I was younger. Not often, just if we went raving.
Yeah. It's
we'd
more
get
of
on
a
it. I
raving
used to
drug,
sell
innit?
E's
Yeah.
back in the day when they were cheap. Like
Yeah.
we used to get like 10,000 and 20,000
Yeah.
to sell them in hundreds to people.
See, that's it can be quite a lovey-dovey drug. So people
Yeah, I loved
sometimes
it. Yeah, that was nice.
and to be honest, I don't know too
Used to
many
go
people.
Bagleys and all that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like we were young, getting into Bagleys, selling pills in there as well, and yeah, it was mental.
But did you like the rave scene? Was you into music?
I don't know, no, not really.
No.
But off my nut on an E, I'd walk around any rave. Yeah, it was one of them.
What, causing trouble or vibes?
No, loving. Like you
Yeah.
said, it was loving, wasn't it?
Mm.
Barge into someone, they turn around and cuddle you. It's nuts.
Yeah. So would you say you've like, even though you've gone through these stages of like indulging in weed, indulging in cocaine?
Prison stopped me from being a real addict at that age.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you feel like there's a sense of prison saved
Well,
you?
I'd go away and I'd come out clean again.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't taking drugs every day when I was a child,
Yeah.
I'd take weed every day, but everything else just come and goes when it come. But I'd go to prison, come out, not take it. But every time I got released from prison, I would be a dealer again.
Do you feel like prison done anything in terms of like reforming you into?
No, never. I wish it did.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. I still don't think they do.
Yeah.
Prison's a big money spinner. That's why private companies are buying jails left, right, and centre because they make money. They've got you packing away in a factory. They're paying you 20 quid a week.
Yep.
£20. £20 a week. What? They ain't doing that for nothing. Whatever they're packing's getting sent out, and there's big money involved in it.
What you would pay someone 100 quid to do? Yeah.
300 quid you'd want to go and work in a factory out here, wouldn't you? Or 500 quid. But in there it's 20 quid. Slave labour.
A week.
A week.
Yeah. Well, 500. Yeah. Damn. I'll talk about 100 quid a day. 500 quid. Yeah. Right.
It's slave labour, man.
And there's not a lot changing in the system right now. If you think about that to like 20 years ago, you might be able to tell me different, but I don't see that much difference in
Nothing.
reforming.
When I first went to prison, there was no TVs. You have a little radio. That's about it. Yeah. I couldn't read them right. I couldn't read books. I tried, but I couldn't read them right. Like my young offenders days was the most notorious days I ever had in jail. Phelton was a jungle, man. It was naughty. It was wild.
Tell me one of the maddest things you experienced in Phelton.
I was trouble every day.
Yeah.
Like, even with prison officers, if you upset the prison officer and we was on the servery working, that means we're giving out the food. It's probably one of the best jobs to have on the wing because you get extra food, yeah?
Yeah.
And you upset the officer, like, the officer, he could send people through your door. Like, you're a little kid, you're 15, and screws open your door and 4 boys are going in and beating you up for it. Like, when you look back on it, a bad way to start off life, really. Like, you're doing bad things even for them back in then until you grow up a bit and you realise you're just being used. But Phelton was notorious. You know, like now in London, there's a few young offenders and they also send kids to man's prisons and put them on different wings.
Yeah.
Phelton was the only place you could go from 15 to 21 across the whole of London. So if you could be banged up with a murderer, you could be banged up with a shoplifter, and you could be in for shoplifting, but be in with a murderer. So you're learning things straight away about how he's murdered someone. So you start getting more and more into being a better person.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I learned. Felton was a learning curve to be a bigger criminal.
Yeah.
And links.
And more links as well.
You
You're
make
more
loads of
connected
links.
now.
I'm friends still to this day with people I've met from prison.
See, like, oh really?
Yeah, loads. I've got loads of them.
I've never done a prison sentence. And the way my brain is, and I'm quite a free spirit in some senses, and I like my things in certain ways. I think I'd struggle to be locked in a room. How was that for you? Like looking back at it now, who you are now, do you feel like you're
I went into Phelton excited
okay?
because my sister's boyfriend had already been there,
Right.
and I was already smuggling drugs into Phelton prison when I was 13. Yeah, so
Damn.
I was taking drugs
Mad.
in for my sister's boyfriend.
Right. Okay.
And then, so I was probably more excited when I first went to Phelton. But I will be brutally honest, when they closed the door on that first day, I was like, fuck, I'm actually in here. And then you just adjust to it.
How did that first? Did that?
I was banging off a murderer, my first ever cellmate. Yeah.
Your first cellmate was a murderer.
Yeah, he was drawing a cross on the wall, or he'd already drawn the cross, can't remember. I was like, oh, what are you in for? He's like, murder. Yeah.
What was the cross for?
They've changed it now. I think you have to be in single cells for his victim. He was putting something on the wall to his victim, or praying to. I can't actually remember.
Raw.
Long time ago,
But you was what age?
15.
Wow,
I
that's
just turned 2 days after my 15th.
Yeah.
The judge said to me when I was 14, when you turn 15, you're going to prison. I was like, all right, cool. 15, bang, went to prison.
No way. They knew.
She knew. She was sending me. Yeah, she was the local magistrate. So
Okay.
I was always in front of her.
So from there, like, okay, so you've done time in your teens, and then from 21 you caught a big bird. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
you
I've done a
was
few sentences before
Yeah.
I was 21.
Yeah. A few sentences in and out. What prisons were they?
Went to Phelton. You always go to Phelton if you get nicked in London, yeah?
Mhm.
So I'd always start in Phelton, unless I committed the crime in Reading, say, or High Wycombe, I'd go to Reading Young Offenders.
Okay.
So I've been to Reading Young Offenders twice. I've been to Phelton numerous times. Dover Young Offenders.
Mhm.
That was like quite a naughty Young Offenders back then. If you was naughty in Phelton, they sent you to Dover or Portland, the two furthest ones away, down to south, like near the sea.
That must feel like a bit alien as well.
Yeah, I went to Dover. Dover could be brutal as well. It's like 6-man dorms and that. So they're putting you in with 6 boys from all over London. None of you know each other. It goes off.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes off over the most stupidest things.
Yeah.
And if you don't hold your own, that's
Yeah.
probably when a lot of people don't go back to prison because they can't cope
Handle
with
that.
the madness.
Mm.
I was already in the madness, so I could cope with it.
Okay.
I got on all right in jail.
Right.
I didn't care.
So you got on all right. You was doing all right. Well, not doing all right. You coped in jail. All right.
Cope with jail. You get the quiet bods in jail, and then you get the loud mouths, and then you get the middle ones who are just doing their thing, and we're doing our thing, but you're not going to trouble us.
So would you say you struggle more when you come out?
Not when I was a kid, no. It was hilarious getting out. I was so excited. You couldn't wait to get out. You get out, see all your family, see your mates.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember one time I got released from Phelton on a Friday. On the Monday, I was back in.
Mm.
So that quick.
Yeah. So there
When I
was-
look back now, I'm
there
not
was-
saying that with a smile. I'm smiling
Yeah.
because I'm feeling the madness of it, yeah?
yeah, yeah,
It was pathetic.
yeah, yeah.
Like, what a life. My mum's excited to see me come home again on the Friday. The boys are having a bit of a crazy one on the estate with some beef. I join in. Monday, I'm back in prison.
Yeah, of course they would take
With
you straight
them.
back in.
Yeah, I'm just back in jail with
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
my boys. I'm going to back them and whatever.
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
back in
yeah.
prison. And imagine my mum, though.
Yeah, of course.
It's only now I've got kids. I think, wow, my kid got. I'd hate for me to go to prison, but if we got out on a Friday and went back on the Monday, your heart's shattered.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably broke my mum's heart millions of times. I live with a bit of regret for that for her.
You close to your mum?
She's dead now.
She passed away.
Yeah, she died 4 years ago.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I was very close. Yeah, my best friend. She loved me more than anything.
Yes.
Out of me and my brother and sister, I was the number one, 100%.
The most troublesome, but the most
Yeah,
loved.
she loved me. It's
always the
they
way.
know it as well. When they watch this, they're going to laugh. But they know it.
Yeah.
She was a loyal one to me, the one who always visited me. She
Yeah,
never had
yeah.
no money, but she'd somehow find £10 to send to me. It's all you could spend in kids' prison,
Yeah,
like £10 a week, whatever back then. And she'd send me a tenner a week.
In between, when you was in like Phelton, and then you do your big sentence in 21. In between that, was you taking drugs then?
Yeah, I was taking cocaine by the time I was 18, but like I said, it was just randomly.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't
All
on
fun?
it all the time.
Like,
Some of it was fun.
Was
but
it
the
dark
ex-partner
times?
I was with at the time back then,
yeah.
she hated it.
Yep.
So it probably weren't fun for...
Okay, so you see there was like dark times.
Yeah, there was sometimes you can't sleep on coke and that, can you? Like
No.
you're up all night, but you're young and dumb and you're not thinking straight. And
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't never really telling myself, oh, I'm never going to do it again. back
yeah,
then.
yeah. Then you go in for a big sentence, right? And then I'm guessing you wasn't taking coke then, was you?
No, not once through the whole sentence.
So then you come out, and then was it game on from there in terms of like,
When I come out from the big sentence, yeah, I started getting on it
yeah,
badly because I don't know, even some of my mates used to say to me, yeah, but you've lost out on a lot of time, Ed. You've been
Picking
gone
up,
for years.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
catch
yeah.
up with us. And
yeah,
I took that on the chin. I joined in, and I had a partner at the time, my son's mum. Oh, mate, just treated her like shit, really. Like I never laid a hand on her or anything like that. But I wouldn't go home.
Yeah.
I'd be out partying with the boys, cheating, doing all the bullshit what happens on cocaine.
Well, let's talk about that. You know, I mean, I've seen it firsthand and felt it as well, even myself, but then other people as well. And you've just mentioned it now as well. The way it alters your brain when you're on it, it gets you doing things that you would never do when you were sober.
I'm not just talking for myself. I know all my friends, we're the same.
Yeah.
I've been with them all my life. I know exactly what we're all like. It's just a seedy, dirty drug.
Yeah.
But I only know that now. Back then, I thought it was fun to be out all the time, never coming home.
Yeah.
Sometimes high life parties.
But see, you like the mischievous side of things when you was younger. So it's only right when you do that we all like kind of glorify the
Yeah, it all comes
the
with it.
mischief, like you know what I'm saying. But when was the transition then when you realized?
So I tell you, so I went back to prison.
Okay.
So my habit got quite bad. We're still committing crimes. I'm out there doing bits and bobs, like ram raids and that now. And really, it was like I was just feeding a habit now.
Okay.
Because I was enjoying it. I wouldn't spend every penny on drugs, but I'd buy clothes and that still. Waste my money, basically. I could have thousands of pounds one day, no money the next day. Just wasting it.
So there was no stability when you was...
No, nothing.
Yeah.
And I had this partner, but she moved out the area, and I moved out there with her to try and, just to get away from my area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of madness was going on around there. And it didn't work. I missed my area, so I just kept going back.
So you recognized that your environment was definitely pushing you towards like getting on it a lot and doing
100%.
crime.
They was all on it.
And then you realized that when you come away, was it when you did get away? Was you chilled, or was you like still cracking on it?
I couldn't wait to get back there.
Yeah,
but when I did get over there, no, I'd always have drugs in my pocket and carry on sniffing.
There you go. So you're almost addicted to coming back as well and that life, as well as when you're out, bringing it with you.
Yeah. Then I go back to prison. And I knew I was bad now on drugs. And I think while I'm in prison, right, this is it. When I get out, sort your life out. You got a son, be a man.
Yeah.
I started to think about being a man.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing.
Age?
29. I went back to prison, yeah. So then I'm sitting in jail. It don't work anyway. I do my sentence. I come out of prison and it just don't work. I missed the birth of my kid, sorry. That's what happened.
Right.
I had some beef with some people. They lied, said I shot up their house. I didn't shoot up no house. I went to have a baseball bat. It definitely weren't a gun. And I got nicked and I went to prison. The case got busted, but by the time that happened, I had another little outstanding case and it gave me 3 years in prison. So when I was in prison on that one, my son was born the day I got remanded. So I missed my son's birth. Oh. So now when I come out, my son's, what did I do out of that one? About 20 months, I think. He's like 20 months old. I've missed. The day he's born is the day I'm going to prison.
Right.
And I mean, that's devastating, really. When you look back on that, like, I missed the first part of his life. I was devastated in prison, so I thought, I started telling my mind then, when you get out, man up, man. You got a kid now.
Okay.
But it just didn't work. I come out of prison and I went straight back to it.
What to getting on it?
Crime and getting on it.
Yeah. So they come hand in hand.
No, I'm lying. I come out. I thought, let me go and try and be straight. And I remember going to a job centre place and in like an agency. And for the first time, I was asking for a job.
Okay.
I actually did try. I totally forgot this bit, yeah?
Yeah.
But they basically laughed me out the room. They were like, where have you been? You're like 30 years of age now. Where have you been? And I'm like, prison. Because my probation officer told me that I have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
If I don't tell the truth, she's going to recall me back to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell the truth. I'm never going to get a job if I have to tell them the truth. What have you been to prison for? Everything.
Yeah.
Like, you're not having a job.
Yeah.
So I never got a job.
Okay.
So within weeks, I need money.
Yeah, of course.
Can't get a job. I could sit here and say, no, I'm use it as an excuse or whatever to go back. Well, I tried once. I tried once to get a job and I didn't get it. I was ignorant and I went straight back to crime.
Yeah, of course.
And you can only last so long before you're going to go back to prison.
So it's almost like there's once you're in, you can't get it, you're going back.
Can't get out.
Yeah.
Then I went back to prison. And then when I come out of that was my last sentence.
Okay.
So when I went back this time, it's loads of rain, but by now I'm a raving cokehead. When I get the 5-year sentence, I'm sniffing every day.
What, inside?
No, outside.
Once you come out?
Yeah, so I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
But I'm a cokehead.
Every day?
Every day. I would leave and I'd swear, I'd even lie and swear on my son's life
Yeah.
Because I went out with the great intentions. I'm not going to sniff.
Yeah.
But I would go. There was only one. We're not kids no more. We don't hang around in a youth centre. We hang around in a pub.
Yeah.
So I'd go to that pub. It didn't even matter if I had no money. My friends are all dealers.
Yeah. They still have it. Yeah.
And we're mates. You can have for free, Eddie. You don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I'd be sniffing all day, all night. My son's mum would call, "What time are you coming home?" "I'll be home in a minute," promising her the world. The torture I must have put her through. Then my son, he's none the wiser because he's still small, but he didn't get to see me. I wasn't a dad to him, not properly. I loved him when he was with me, but I didn't do anything with him. I was always out on drugs. I'd get in at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Sometimes I wouldn't even come home. I would drink drive, and he lives quite far away, and I'd drive the whole way there, drink driving on my own in the car. Could have killed someone, could have killed myself.
Yeah.
You know, like when you look back on it, at the time, I didn't even think I was doing anything wrong.
So
It's just all normal.
Did you think at that time, did you know you was addicted? Like, you know you're addicted, but are you
Not
like...
really? I still thought I was sweet. I didn't think I was an addict.
Yeah,
I thought an addict, a park bench
Yeah.
with a beer can.
But
I thought that was an addict.
It's almost like that could easily lead that way, though, isn't it? That's the way it's
At
good.
the time, I didn't know that, though. I didn't never thought... I forgot how they got there.
Yeah,
I didn't know how
it's
they
a journey,
got there.
innit? Yeah.
I know this now.
Yeah, of
We'll
course.
get to this. I know it all now. But I promise you, when someone would say, "Oh, you're bang on drugs," like one of my family members or anyone, but no, I'm not. I got a nice watch. I got nice clothes, nice train. I used to think that was, well, I'm not a junkie or an addict, whatever way you want to call it. I didn't even know about you might have an illness. That all comes in later on.
When you were high on coke, did you used to have like dark thoughts?
Do you know what? I probably did start because I used to start thinking, "Oh, I mugged myself off last night. I talked bare shit on the gear." Because that's what I do on it. I go proper divvy,
Yeah.
And I'm not wired right anyway. So on coke, I'm completely weird. And I'd say I had a few suicide thoughts back then, but I didn't really go through or attempt anything. It was just like maybe paranoia, 5 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep, head's going all over the place.
See, that's the time that anyone would get it. So like when you're tossing and turning and you can't sleep, and then
I remember one night, this was with my son's mum. I remember ringing Samaritans. So I must have been lost to ring them.
Yeah.
I remember the woman saying, I said, "I've got this kid upstairs, like I can't do it because of him." And she was like, "Just go up and have a little look at him." And I went up and I remember looking at him and that, and I don't know what happened, but I didn't kill myself. I come back downstairs and just drunk more spirits. And I used to drink a lot of spirits to stop me from sniffing.
Well, and that's what's it, coethylene? That when you mix
it makes
cocaine
a new
and
drug
drink, it's a
inside
new
your
drug
body.
in your, I think it's your liver.
So I was probably close to death on so many occasions.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen to me for whatever reason.
Yeah. That when you mix drink and coke together,
it makes a new drug. I
think it's coethylene or something.
Like that,
Coethylene, and I think it's something like that. And it's you're so much more likely to have like heart attacks, and your heart is mad.
My heart's been battered. My body's been battered. So I was really, really, really bad on drinking drugs before I got my last prison sentence.
Yep.
Then by the time I come out from my last prison sentence, I'd split up with my son's mum because she'd had enough of me treating her like shit. I was single now in prison, and I get with my now wife, Louise, while I was on that last sentence. I've known her my whole life, but I fancied her, she fancied me, we went out of each other.
Yep.
And when I come out of jail, I went straight, I got a job with her at a shop, a flower shop.
Good man.
And I went to work for the first ever proper time. I had my first ever proper job.
How'd that feel?
Bit weird at first because the wages weren't great, but I was living rent free at her house. I got released to go to live at her house. She wasn't charging me no rent, so like I had somewhere to live, and the wages was, I suppose it was okay if I'm not sounding selfish.
Yeah.
But it weren't like used to the money what I was getting before I went to prison.
Yeah.
But
are you still together now?
We're married, yeah.
You're married. Okay, cool.
So Louise was very...
Louise, you said her name is?
Yeah.
So you've been on a journey together then?
Yeah, a proper journey. She changed my life.
Wow.
Like, and she'll say, "Oh, but you done all the work."
Yeah.
Cool. She changed my life.
Yeah.
She come into my life as one of them women who she had her own business.
Yep.
She's a real talented, she's an artist, man. When it comes to making things with flowers, you just got to go on Instagram and have a look what she makes.
Yeah.
But she was doing great, and she was a single mum, and she was on her own, and she was supporting all of her kids all on her own, all through work. no benefits, grafting. She's a grafter. Well, she gave me the job. I'm delivering the flowers. It was quite an easy job. I just had to deliver flowers, sing happy birthday to someone at the door, whatever, yeah. And
So you'll be dropping flowers off
to
and
people's
singing
doors.
happy
But if that was
birthday
an
to
old lady, I get a bit of paper, so I know your name, address,
Yeah.
and then at the bottom will be the card message you've sent to your nan or something, yeah? It'll be like 98th birthday. Oh, wow. So I'd knock the door, happy birthday, and sing them a song, yeah? Make them smile.
Yes.
I kind of knew then I want to live a different life.
Yeah.
I'm bored of that old lifestyle. At this stage, I've lost people to murders, people getting killed, my friends are committing suicide. It's going mental for all different reasons. So serving life sentences in jail, that's where I was going. If I never changed, I was going to be doing a life sentence. Like, Louise, anyway, so I'm working for her, and we end up having a kid, then getting married. But by now, I'm not bang on drugs again. What's happening is I'm just taking drugs every now and again.
Okay.
Because I'm staying in a lot. I'm married, I'm in with my wife.
So see what you just said there. What's your opinion on like people that just do coke every weekend, but just on the weekend? Are they addicted?
If you can go to the pub tonight, me and you, we can have 1, 2, 3 beers and then go home. I don't think you're an addict. If you do that 7 nights a week, you're an addict.
For alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or drugs.
Yeah.
But drugs, if you go to the pub and you have 1 or 2 beers and you need to take cocaine, you're an addict.
Yeah.
Because your brain wouldn't let you take it, would it? So you're taking it because you think you need it. So you're an addict.
Yeah.
If you go to the pub with your packet in your pocket and have 1 line out of it, go home, put that packet in your cupboard and leave that in your cupboard and not do that again until next Friday, you're not an addict.
I don't think I know many people who can do that.
Hardly no one. And if they're going to be honest, I couldn't do it.
No.
But I didn't know I was an addict.
Yeah.
I never knew I was an addict till the day I went to a meeting. And then I found out I was an addict.
Yeah, of course. But I think with cocaine, everyone knows that like you don't just do one.
No, but there is some freaks out there what can take 1 line.
I do. I know a few people. Now saying it,
I don't
know
really
a few.
know none. I've learned there is people out there. There's got to be. I actually don't even know. I think there is, where they can take a line, go home, leave it in their cupboard. If they can do that, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Well done, because I'm not sitting here putting anyone down what takes drugs, man. It's a horrible disease. It's an illness what wipes out families, destroys marriages. It destroys everything.
What's that? Cocaine or cocaine?
Addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction. Cocaine. Well, my drug of choice was cocaine, so I kind of talk about that.
Of course.
But like,
it's because you mentioned that like you see it as the devil.
Yeah, I hate it.
I can relate to that. Like, it's like, it can just grip a hold of you.
Yeah.
And what do you think is going on there? Like, you'll wake up in the morning and
You're
say,
powerless.
Yeah.
We're powerless.
So there's no discipline. There's no discipline.
There's no nothing. There's no nothing with it.
Yeah.
You do everything morally, what you do wrong.
Yeah.
You turn into a snake. If you know, most criminals and that, what sniff all the time, they're snakes.
Yeah.
They rob each other, set each other up, shag each other's birds.
Yep.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it. So I know exactly what they're doing. And I thought I was loyal on the street. You're not loyal. When you're on cocaine and that, it's just you all talk shit.
Yep.
3 a.m. in someone's kitchen fighting each other to say your story. It's all pathetic. I've gone through it 1,000,000 times. I was probably one of the worst.
So what piece of advice would you give to someone now who was partying every weekend and they were taking drugs here and there, but it started to spiral and get a little bit more like, okay, I'll do it on a Thursday, Friday.
They got a problem. They're an addict.
And what would you do?
Get them to a meeting, man.
What meeting?
I go to Cocaine Anonymous meetings.
Right.
So it's run on a 12-step program. It's based along Alcohol Anonymous. It's a big blue book, Alcohol Anonymous, but it's branched off. Like CA have got their own meetings.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it. My wife come to me, so I'm suffering now. So like, if you want to hear about that,
yeah, definitely.
So like, I'm bang on it. But when I say bang on it, like I've got a wife what hates drink, hates drugs.
Right.
And then I would go out and she'd be like, please don't get on it tonight. Who you going with? And she's just saying names you two, but you two are both addicts and she knows it. She'll be like, oh no. It's only now I know what I put my wife through, because I've learned it in the recovery program. She'll be sitting at home all night, can't sleep, because she's thinking, what's he going to do? Is he even going to come home? Where's he going? What's he doing? And we all book out, but 10 boys are going to go out and have an Indian. We go in there and we order everything. The bill's £300, £400, £500 now, maybe more, All the food's coming. By the time that food gets to the table, some of us have been lucky enough to have a poppadom
Yeah.
because the gears come out.
Yeah.
Now we've sniffed. The man's bringing all the food out. What, is there something wrong with my food? No, there's nothing wrong with food, mate. We're all twisted.
Yeah.
And then we leave. And
Them
leave all
two
the food.
things, cocaine and Indian food, don't go
Don't
well
work,
together.
Don't work, yeah. But I say that story once. That's happened 500 times.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like anywhere we ever went,
Mm.
it got wrecked by drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone would pull it out, whether it was me, whether it was you, and it would get on it, and everything was just destroyed. But at the time, I thought it was funny. I thought it was normal. And I'd go home, tail between my legs.
Yep.
She would have the hump. She would scream at me. She knows more about addiction now than she's ever known in her life, but she didn't know about it then, yeah? And then she'd have a go at me. But like, it got to the stage where I knew I was doing wrong, but I still didn't know I was an addict.
Mm. Mm.
And I'd sniff, I'd go home. I wouldn't really take any gear home because she'd be on me, like searching me and stuff when I come through the door. And like, imagine the politics I'm putting my wife through. She's got kids asleep.
Yeah, of course.
They don't really know what's going on at this stage. And I'm just destroying her life.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'm actually proper sorry for it. I'm destroying her life. And but I didn't know. So I missed my first son's birth. When my daughter was born in hospital, I watched the baby come. They needed to keep her in for the night, my wife. I could have stayed there, but we've got other kids at home. So she's like, you go home to them. I went to see a dealer. I celebrated the birth of my child by having a packet because I'm starting to get back into that addiction.
No, but you've got to remember, right? So you associate celebration with cocaine.
Drugs.
Yeah. So your biggest celebration right now, you've been at the birth
Baby,
of your child.
go and have a packet.
So it's natural for you to do that.
Yeah.
So it sounds crazy, but the situation, like we all get in when you're addicted to drug, that's what you're related to. So I get it. But
you know what, that makes sense. I've never actually heard it like that. Everything I've ever done, even we pulled off a crime, we celebrated by taking drugs.
of course, yeah.
You're right. I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah.
I just learned something there because I've not actually heard that in recovery either, but that's true.
So it makes sense.
But I done that, and then the second kid was born. I done the same thing. I couldn't drive to the hospital the next morning to pick her up.
Because you was up all
I
night.
drunk too much vodka.
Yeah.
So even though the gear I didn't do loads of gear, but I drunk too much to get rid of the gear feeling. Because gear makes me go so weird that I need more.
Balance it. Yeah.
So if I drink loads of vodka, bang, I'll just knock myself out.
Yeah,
How I'm not dead from a drink overdose, I do not know.
I find it crazy, and I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, we spoke about it as well. There's a time where you're like, oh, am I going to do this tonight or not? Yeah. And then you're like, okay, I'll just do the one, thinking you know you're not going to do just the one. You know you're going to get to that point that you was at last time, 5, 6 a.m. and you're not going to want to, you can't sleep and you're now doing your nutting. And it's true, like staring at the ceilings and all that. That's some real shit.
Millions of times.
Burst tweeting, that's some real shit.
I used to lay, but I agree with this so much. Like that used to happen to me all of the time. I'll go out, I'm not going to do nothing.
Yep.
I'll have that one drink. The second I pick up a drink, it's gone. Yeah. Then I'll have a line and I'm off and running.
Yeah.
Like I'm 5 miles per hour now. Give me one line, I'm 155.
Yeah.
And then 2 lines, I'm going and going and going and going. And I can't stop. There's no button to push on me to turn me off.
Yep.
I drink the drink to knock myself out.
Yeah.
That's the only button was turning me off because I can't now move. I'm asleep wherever I fall. Front room floor, sofa. How I'm not dead from alcohol poisoning, I do not know, because I've not ate nothing for 2 days. I've just sniffed and drunk myself to death.
But when you do drink it, it sounds weird, but it's more, when you're trying to relax, it's more comforting. You can relax a little bit more.
Yeah.
When you're just pinging.
No, you can't. You don't even get drunk.
Yeah.
That's why you could drink a whole bottle of vodka
Yeah.
and nothing really happens to you because, well, it didn't to me because halfway through the second bottle, I'd collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy, man. When you think back on it, like, just powerless. That's all it was.
So, when you're really going through your darkest times now with gear, like when was that? Roughly?
No, so my darkest times were before I come out of prison.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can't even say it like that because when I get out and I'm with my wife and that, I'm starting to grow up a little bit because she's given me some kind of normality life. So when I am going back out with him, it's a different life to her.
Do you feel like that you seeing how it was destroying her life made you realize how you were destroying your life?
Yeah, but I was selfish.
Yeah.
When you're a druggie, you're selfish.
Yeah.
So when she's having a go at me, I'm like, oh, shut up. You're just boring. You never want to come out. I'm going out with my mates. You're just boring. But she wasn't. She was a militant, an excellent mother, going to work every day, providing for her kids, didn't need help off no one. She was a proper good person.
Yep.
But I just blamed her so I can go out with my mates. But I knew she loved me. She used to cry and that, and it's hard to even talk about her, like, because it's sad for her, yeah. And then one night I drunk myself so much that this is where I wanted it all just to end. Like, I was bored. I was bored of going out and telling you that I'm not gonna sniff tonight.
Yeah.
I was bored of lying to myself, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like, I just can't stop. I don't know what's wrong. And I broke down a few times to her a little bit, yeah. And then one night,
Did you have a proper breakdown?
not really. My breakdown was after what I'm about to tell you, yeah. So I'm laying on my sofa one night. It's 5, 6 in the morning. You know, you start hearing the kids get up. I hear that now today, but I'm sober now, yeah. But when this happened, I had the vodka on the floor. I'm trying to clean up my mess and that. I know they're coming. Then they're coming down the stairs, and I'm just laying on the sofa, and my whole world's upside down. I'm in bits. Cocaine started off as fun and games, yeah. Now I'm a grown ass, think I'm hard, laying on my sofa in bits, crying, real tears. But I'm like, just to end your life. I thought about it loads of times. I've got mates what have done it. Just go with them. And she comes down, looks at me in disgust, which she's allowed to do. She's entitled to. Done it a million times to her. She can't hang around with me. She's got a shop to open. She's got to go work. My kids, they're just looking at me like that. They don't really understand what's happening. Off day, she takes them all to school. I then just walk straight out to my shed, and I set the same cup. It's in my old shed. I've knocked it down now. I built a new one just because it pissed me off looking at it. I nearly killed myself in there. And I built this thing above my fridge in this like concrete block. Basically, I was too tall to hang myself, so I had to build something up, and I just wedged this wood up like that, measured it, I thought I could do it here, set it all up, and I swear to you, I swear this was it. This was my moment. 15 years in prison, didn't even think of suicide. I now know I've got an issue, but I don't even know what the issue really is. I just can't say no to cocaine. I can't. It was all going through my head. Every time you go out, you promise the world you're not going to do. You promise yourself, you swear on your children's lives. This is coming from someone who's quite loyal on the street in that game, yeah? And I'm swearing on my children's lives, I'm never going to sniff. I set it up. I'm going. It's happening. And I'm just about to do it, and something just come through my head. Don't do it. So instead, I took it off my neck and just like, I only had to go 2 steps back and the wall's there, yeah? I promise you, it's brutal. When I think about it now, I think about my friends that have gone on to do this, like where they were in their life, as much as people don't want to admit it or whatever, yeah, drugs killed all of my friends. All of my friends who have committed suicide have died from drink and drugs. I don't care what anyone says. That's what happened. Or you could say mental health, but the mental health gave them the drink and drugs didn't help.
Yep.
So in the same boat, I reversed back into the wall, and I promise you, I dropped down the wall and I cried like a baby. I proper cried, real tears. I've always been this hard character, and I cried like a baby. So all of that going to other countries and partying and popping bottles, as much as some of it was fun at the time, or every time I sniffed coke was fun at the time, all them depression nights at 5 and 6 in the morning, watching the ceiling, seeing the birds singing, walk of shame, leaving people's houses, cheating on partners, whatever you want to call it, all come at me at once. And I sat on that floor and I fucking cried. I was in bits. And then shed door popped open. She come home. But she don't never come home. She goes to work and lets you suffer at home because she's got the hump and she's entitled to have the hump. Remember, these times she don't even know what addiction is. She finds out later on. We're going to go to that. My daughter said to her on the way to school, my little daughter, Daddy looked very, very sad, Mum. And do you know why? Because when I cuddled my kids, sorry, I forgot to say, when they left to go to school, I managed to crawl off that sofa. I knew I'm going to kill myself. I cuddled them all real tight. Kissed them on the head, but I'm sad. I'm trying to wipe my tears because I'm already upset now, but I'm not fully crying. I don't want them to see it, but I know I'm dying.
And they felt it.
One of them felt it.
Yeah.
She told her mum, go home and check on Daddy. He looks sad. That breaks my heart. That kid, the mum never saved my life that day because I'd already got off the rope, yeah, off the belt. It was my belt. I already got off it. But imagine my wife took a bit of advice off her daughter. She come back. Normally I'd just get a text throughout the day. You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead. And she's entitled to do all this. I'm not putting her down saying it. And I'll be like trying to go back at her. It's not my fault, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go and do it all again. So I promise her the world, and I'm going to do it all again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. This went on forever. She come in, she just looked at me on the floor. She see all that. Her world had collapsed there and then. Like she's never seen anything like this. And that night, I think it was, she went all out to get me into recovery. She wanted to go rehab. We got a bit of money in that. And she was like, go rehab. I was like, I'm not spending all that money on that. I ain't a junkie. I just won't go out no more. She goes, that's not going to work. You stay in sometimes for 3 months and you don't sniff a line. The second you go out, you take drugs. You take drugs every time you go out. You wreck every occasion. Every single occasion, you wreck it. And this is just her giving it to me, yeah? And but now she's been a bit softer. She's seen that he's about to die, and I've probably the life out of her.
So she's come through the door and she's seen everything you've set up.
Sat with me on the floor crying.
No way.
Yeah.
That must have been...
in bits. I can only imagine walking on you. I mean, on you now, like, it'd be sad. It'd be sad to see you in that position.
Wow. And she wouldn't have thought you was in that space at all, really.
No. And then she went out. She kind of wouldn't leave my side then. She just begged me, please don't do this. Please, our children, like my daughters really love me. They love me more. They hang around me more than they do her, yeah? And she was like, please, you'll kill them. You'll destroy their lives. Please just don't do this. Whatever you're going through, just suffer. You can't, please don't kill yourself. Anything you do, just don't kill yourself. Begging me not to kill myself. I wasn't threatening it every day. After that, I was quite sad myself, if I'm being honest. Like it kind of humbled me a little bit, like, oh, nearly went. Could have gone. That could have been me. Could have been gone. Just joined my friends. But I'm still not an addict. This is what I'm thinking. I still think I'm not a junkie because I'm not on the park bench. So my wife comes to me and she says, please call this number. It's Cocaine Anonymous. She'd been upstairs in her bedroom going on Google. So anyway, I didn't sniff for a couple of weeks after that. And you would think that I would never sniff ever again, wouldn't you? No. I went out and done it again. But she's on my case now to ring this number. Yeah, I'll ring it, but I've got my mate's party coming up. I've got to go to my mate's party.
Let's see that right there. So I found with cocaine, you make up any excuse to be at the parties, at the dance.
Every excuse.
Just to be there. What is that? Is that like, it's not FOMO, but it's addiction, really. It's addiction. Because you want to go there and you know what you're going to do.
I'm going to take cocaine and I'll take it at the start of the party. So now I'm not even in the party. I talk shit, and depending what coke you sniff, if it's really good, jaw goes like that, you can't even speak, you look stupid, you act stupid. Like, there's only a certain couple of people what can act normal on cocaine. Like me and loads of my mates, we all act divvy. But there's a few what can handle it. You wouldn't even know they've took a line. But are they enjoying the party? All paranoid. Everyone's like all on edge. So that went on for a little while. But then she was just on my case for it. But I kept messing up. And then one day I called the number. Like, so all that great partying has led to all of this madness. And that is where cocaine will take you.
Well, I think this is a very strong message to people that are getting caught up on it. You know, like I said to you, what message do you give someone who is struggling, like starting to struggle after the party?
If you even think you're starting to struggle,
it's there.
Get help, man. There's a solution. There is. Like, I couldn't look at a drink without sniffing a line of coke. I couldn't. I could promise you the world, I'd still want a line of coke. It's a devil. It literally will destroy your life. You could have everything in front of you. How many marriages that have broke down due to drugs? It's horrible.
I think, you know, like, as well, you're saying in general, you're a loyal man in life and with your friends and everything. When you know you're not being like that, you're not being true to yourself, true to your people, and you can even, you lie.
You lie, you cheat, you do all the mad things on it.
And that's, over time, that's going to destroy a man. Or a human, anyone doing it. But it will destroy you because you know that you're now not being true to yourself. And I think that's things. That's the worst.
Just lying, devious, sly, two-faced. It's all, that's what that stuff does. It might not affect some people like that in their brain, but like all the marriages and that, like, I've learned now in recovery, the amount of people what have split up or whatever, all due to drugs. One of the partners takes drugs or whatever. Woman and man, because it ain't just men what suffer. There's women out there cracking on as well every day. Not being great mums.
But you know what though? Like, I'm sure, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a lot of men doing it as well, don't it? What's the percentage? I don't know, like...
What, of taking coke? I don't know.
I feel like women overall, like it's probably like a 70-80 split. 70-20,
Well,
like 30?
don't know. In the rooms, there's a lot of women.
Is there?
Yeah,
Wow.
bundles. And young as well now.
And that's interesting because women have known to go to the meetings. There's probably lots. I say that, I just feel like, yeah.
Loads of the women I hung around with growing up sniffed coke.
Really?
We'd go back to their houses, parties. I'm not putting one of them down. Love them all, yeah. They was all my friends. We'd have house parties back at their house.
Yep.
All of you are you're sitting here now, 10 boys, 5 girls, all sniffing coke.
Mm.
And then you'll see the person's kid walking in. They're getting ready to go to school, mate.
So last year, there was 35 million people in the world suffering from addiction. That's recorded.
Wow.
35 million people in the world. That's recorded though. You imagine all the people that are getting on it that don't.
Don't report it. Loads of people don't go. They're shameful. There's a stigma about going into recovery. Even myself, when I walked in, I thought it was going to be full of these so-called addicts. What a badge, yeah? And I soon realised there's some lovely people, and there's doctors, there's nurses, there's midwives, there's firemen.
What, suffering with addiction?
Yeah, cocaine.
Yeah,
And they come to meetings. There's probably police officers. Every single person who you could think of is in them rooms.
Did that give you...
All different races.
Yeah.
There's all different races. It's crazy. Like when you walk in, it's an eye opener. You're like, wow, what? You got a drug problem. And then you listen to their story, and their story might not be like mine. They could have been born into millions of pounds, and they're very rich, and their family are wealthy, but we're in that room for the same reason. We can't say no to coke.
So do you think we're at like there's a massive problem in the world right now?
Massive.
This is big, right?
It's massive.
This is clearing out our generation, and
easy.
You know, I've lost multiple friends to cocaine on its own. That's whether it's suicide and they've the mental health deteriorated and they've committed suicide due to drugs, or on the night they've taken drugs and then they've committed suicide, or they've had a heart attack after sniffing
too much drugs.
And I mean, like, when's it going to stop? And we don't ever. There's not much work being done for this. It's like, when is there going to be something put in place, like all this money floating around in the world? Well, I know there's a lot of things.
A lot of people are spending money to go to rehabs and all the rest of it, yeah? The 12-step program is free. It costs no money. It was started off by 2 men many years ago that helped each other get clean. Then they got the 3rd one clean, the 4th one clean, and they go through this book together. It's hard for me to explain all the book. Just get yourself to a meeting and read the book, Like,
what would you say to someone who's nervous about going to the meeting now?
Don't be nervous. Like, no one gets told you'll come in. Social services are not involved. It's not run by a government. It's run by addicts. So me and you are addicts. Just say, we start up a meeting and we get other people clean. It's crazy. It's a miracle. Like that room has saved so many people's lives. So when I was talking about one who I thought was a real addict, I remember listening to this chair one day. This geezer was somebody who you'd never think it looking at him, yeah? He was somebody who runs up to you in the petrol gate and asks you for £1 with a sleeping bag on the floor. He's now the manager of a top company and he looks fresh. And I thought, wow. And he was cracking heroin, and coke.
Beforehand, and now he's done
beforehand, but this is when I meet him in the meeting. He's clean now.
Wow.
And then my first ever meeting, I listened to that story. I was like, this geezer's got clean from that. Wow, this place must work.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
And you now know that where you are, you can do that.
It worked. I kept going back. I relapsed a couple of times after a week or 2 weeks, but I wasn't doing the book by then. You have to go for a book. It's a 12-step book. And then you get a sponsor. So your sponsor is someone who's been clean for X amount of time. And they've been taught by someone else what's clean. And then, they started off as an addict, but then they get clean. And then you go back out into the fire and I sponsor you. Right. So I teach you what I was taught. And where was I at? Yeah, he got clean anyway, and he become my sponsor. And then you start going through the book, but I wasn't really in it because I was still thinking I'm not an addict. But I'd get clean time. I'd get 3 weeks clean of going to meetings, or 3 months clean. And then I got to, in the end, without going around all my relapses, I ended up getting 15 months clean in one go.
Yeah. That was quite recent, right?
Recent. I was amazed. I was so happy. I was doing what the program was telling me to do. I had a great sponsor. Then I thought I'd become Superman. I'm not really an addict. I'm too busy to keep going to these meetings.
Yep.
I'm not going no more. So I slowed down. And in the program, they teach you a thing of just get up and pray in the morning, soon as you roll out of bed, pray. Thank. It don't have to be God. It could be a God of your choice or higher power of your choice. And I choose to call it God, yeah? And just pray, thank you for letting me wake up this morning. Please help me have a clean and sober day. To some of my friends, they'd laugh at me when I tell them. They think I'm on crack when I tell them I believe in God.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but since the day I've done this, I haven't touched coke. And that day turned to 2 days, to 3 days, to a month, to 2 months, 15 months.
Well done.
But looking back now, it's massive. It's a proper achievement. My
100%.
wife was happy. Our marriage got even better. Less stress. You still have stresses in life and that, but the drugs are gone. So there was a lot of less stress.
See, you said that there. Don't you find that when you're on one with gear and cocaine, it enhances your problems times 100?
A million times.
And then when you go clean, you're like...
You get better.
It's like not even...
And stresses
they
are
weren't
gone.
even a problem.
Yeah.
Even the biggest, darkest traumas. I've seen people struggling with stuff, like traumas they're going through when they're on one.
Yeah.
Take it away. It's not even a trauma.
When you take coke, like you take it that night and you have all your madness or whatever, you suffer for days after.
Yeah. People don't realise
Then
that.
you don't get a chance to get normal again because you take it again.
Yeah.
So you're always on it.
So going back to what I said about people just doing it on the weekend, if you're doing it Thursday to Sunday, then you've got a couple of days off, then you're back on
but
it.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're hanging.
Yeah.
Your brain's not normal.
Mentally.
And if you've done anything wrong, cheated or anything like, you got to live with that.
Yeah.
So your brain's gone anyway, even further. But yeah, people are suffering out there, man. The world's suffering. It's like a real bad place. Drugs, it's just horrible. Everything about it, there's nothing's good about it.
So in England, I think the relapse percentages is like 40 to 60%. So from when someone gets clean, they're like 40 to 60% on average that they're going to relapse.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so easy to relapse? And obviously you're addicted, but what do you reckon we could put in place? Like
me personally, I don't know what I could do. I know what I do now. So when in this program I go to, they've taught me everything how to stay clean.
Yeah. Give us some tips for the people. Someone's struggling right now watching this. What sort of tips could you give them straight down the camera?
You have to be spiritually connected. It's as simple as. You have to believe in something greater than yourself.
Yes.
That sounds crazy when you say that to an addict. It would to me. If you come to me, well, I believe in God now. That's why I don't take drugs. Shut up, mate. You on crack or something?
Yeah.
That's how I'd talk to you. That's how I'd look at you because I think you're nuts. When you go to a few meetings, and whenever meeting you go to, someone shares their life story.
Yep.
They have to be clean to do that. They could have been a heroin addict, a weed addict, anything, yeah? Any drug, any mind-altering substance. And they sit up front and they share their story. Some share a story, they've been clean for 20 years. But it's from this book. Some get clean for 1 year, they relapse. 2 years, relapse. People get clean. One of my friends, he got clean for 8 years and then decided to pick up. And now he's going to be clean for a year in a minute because he went back to the meetings because he knew there was a solution. He's running around like a lunatic taking drugs. He went to these meetings. He got clean for 8 years. Whatever's gone wrong in his life, just in 1 second, he's made the biggest mistake ever and took drugs. But he went back to the rooms. He's now come up a year clean. So anyway, that's just one story. I've got 50,000 of them, yeah, what I've learned in the rooms. So I always knew, because there's loads of people that share, and part of their share and their journey is they relapsed. Like, they don't all just get it. No one just goes in there and gets clean and never relapse.
Yeah.
If that happens, it must be in the widest 1%, like the bottom part of a 1%.
It's true.
Yeah. So when I relapsed, I knew there was a solution in them rooms because I managed to get 15 months clean. So to be honest with you, I couldn't wait to get back to the rooms.
Yeah.
And because I run a recovery page, I was mortified, like, oh no, you know, like you're boasting, I'm clean, come follow me. And then all of a sudden you mess up. Right. I could have hid from that, and not told no one. No one needed to know. I could have gone home. My wife could have known. She wouldn't have grasped me up.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. I'm going to be honest and just put it out there. I let everyone know. My DMs go off. Like, there's so many people suffering. Strangers as well. It's not just people I know what message me. Strangers. So many people are struggling. I just give them my solution. Go follow me. Come to a meeting.
Yeah.
Oh no, but I might know someone there. So what?
So on social media at the moment, so I know you said your DMs are popping off, and obviously you've been very authentic and real with your journey.
Yeah.
And you said you felt when you relapsed that you wasn't going to be open about it. You wasn't sure, but you decided,
I was
no, I have
embarrassed.
to be. Yeah,
I
of
was
course
shy.
you was.
I was embarrassed. I was shy. I was not that
Yeah.
hard Eddie no more. I was like, oh no.
Because you made, obviously, the journey of greatness, of being clean, was very pretty, beautiful. You
Yeah.
made it. And then you had to, like, be honest and say that you relapsed. How did
relapse.
that, how did that go then? You said, did the people that were following you on your journey, did they support you? Did you get messages like,
No, I got loads of support. Yeah, I did. There was loads of support. There actually was.
did that help?
You know what it is though? I don't actually do it for that.
Mm.
I don't actually do it for them comments. They appreciate it. They're
Yeah.
nice, but I don't really care if you comment or not.
Why did you do it?
Because of my friends, man. So many of us are dead.
Mm.
And we don't need to be dead.
Mm.
One day we was all little kids running downstairs on Christmas Day and opening our presents, and we were normal. And drugs just destroys everything. Drugs literally rips families apart. I've seen it with my own eyes when I was actively involved in it as well, doing it. Even when I sold drugs, you'd watch men come to you and you'd take all their wages off them on a Friday.
Yeah. Bro, I didn't.
Not because you're a bully, they owe you.
Yeah,
And they
of
got to
course.
pay. They've sniffed it.
Yeah.
And they pay you all their wages, mate. Like, imagine me now earning all my wages this week and then giving it all to you for packing, going home and trying to explain to my wife where my money is, what that causes in a house.
Do you feel like the everything you got up to when you was younger and you got into trouble, and like you said, you were dealing, and that obviously ruined a lot of people's lives?
100% destroyed lives.
Do you feel like this is your karma?
I feel like, now I feel like God, he has a different path for me, yeah? And I feel like I had to go through this to be able to even sit here. If I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be sitting here, would I, yeah? I could have carried on living that sad, pathetic, miserable life on drugs, because that's all it does to you. In the end, it destroys you. It brings you to your knees and you'll be left with nothing.
Yeah.
You might own your own house now, but you split with your wife. Then you've got to split it. She goes off. She moves on. Your drug addiction carries on. Before you know it, you spent your money from the house. You're now living in a caravan. Before you know it, you're living on the street.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. People don't see the bigger picture.
But if you do the transition like you're doing now,
The switch up, like, I feel like in my life, I've done so many bad things that I give back. Like I do my school speeches and all that, yeah. But I do all of that. I do speeches in CA as well. Like I sit up and do my chair.
wait, so you go into schools and you speak to the kids?
Yeah, I speak to kids about knife crime, being a criminal, basically, to kids, because they're only kids. They're not really got drug problems at this stage, yeah. But I bring my addiction into the story.
Right.
I don't give them loads of it.
Yeah.
I give them enough to say, yeah, I done all them robberies and crime and sold drugs so I could go to Marbella or whatever, and I beefer. But I ended up becoming an addict on my own supply.
That's a good perspective.
Most drug dealers become an addict.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but most of them do.
Yeah, of course.
And if they don't, the karma they're going to get
Other
is
ways.
one of their children's going to become an addict.
Yeah.
Something's going to go wrong. You're being watched. And the whatever we're being watched by is my higher power. Ain't going to let you get away with that. You're not going to get away with it. You can get away with some stuff, but you're not getting away with everything.
Yeah.
So maybe my karma was, you're going to have a belt around your neck in the shed. That's what you're going to have. So like, fix up. And now go do something good in the world. So now I work, I live an honest life. I live an honest program. When I relapsed, I was still honest. I just relapsed because I put the book down. Now I'm full steam back into, I've got a new sponsor. Like he's clean for 8 years next week, I think, yeah? And he comes from a background of as well in drink and drugs, and he's a survivor now, and he's out there, and he knows that, you know, that big book I was talking about. You could ask him what's on page 62, and he'll just read it out to you from his brain. He studied it. He studied it so hard. That's why he's 8 years clean. I'll bow to that man because he's now helping me. He watched me relapse, and he even said, like, your story's powerful. The rooms need people like you because you're going to change lives. I'm going to help you get clean. And I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you. Like, you don't even know me. And you want to help me get clean. It's because someone helped him get clean 8 years ago.
He knows the power.
And he don't just help me. He helps about, I don't know, a handful of people all at one stage. He spends his time helping other addicts. And his life is so much better today. My life was so much better than 15 months. So yesterday I celebrated 30 days again.
Yes.
30 days, but thank you. I like even clap myself. Like,
yes, come on.
30 days, yes, I'm
Yes.
31 today. With the help and support and love from other addicts, You wake up every morning and the first 3 people who text me are from the rooms. They were strangers to me. They text me. Other people do, but I have a couple that message every morning because they all wake up around the same time. They get up an hour before you're meant to get up. And in that hour, they go downstairs, they pray for them, and everyone's got their own prayers. You do whatever prayer you want to do. You have your little prayer, you do a little meditation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50, whatever you could do. Some people have got the time to do an hour. I ain't got that time. My kids are waking up in a minute. Everything's quick. Make a coffee, prayer. Thank you for letting me wake up today. I'm going to do everything in my power today to be nice, to be good, to be respectful, to be honest. If I can help someone, I'll help them. Try not curse too much, even though I've swore all night here, yeah? Try and just be a better person.
Yes.
When I live like that, I am a better person. The world's a safer place. My area's a safer place. I'm less harm to anybody. And I just get on with my life. Like, I don't ever want to be that geezer in the corner of the pub again, sniffing coke and talking shit in the toilet and just wasting your life. I don't ever want to be that ever again. Like, it destroyed me. It took me to my knees, drugs.
Do you feel like, from what you said, I feel like the lesson learnt there is the energy you put out is the energy you get back.
Good things back. Like in my new business, what I got now, mate, wow, I work hard. I'll pick up every bit of rubbish, including that last little bit of plastic over there. And the customers are coming out and they're tipping me, and I'm in a great business. Like I do all right. My life's all right, but we work hard. Me and my team, we work hard. But yeah, I'm enjoying life. I'm actually enjoying it, but I'll enjoy it a lot more if I stay sober.
Yes.
Like I won't have a life. I won't have a life because I honestly think if I took it again too much, that I won't stay around. I'll take my life because of the embarrassment of all my kids looking at me and thinking the state of him. I don't want to be that dad. I don't want to be that. And there's other dads before me what have felt like that and they've killed themselves, yeah? Like people I don't even know, strangers around the world. There's suicides every single day, and a lot of it boils down to drink and drugs, addiction, whatever drug it is. I don't want to become one of them. So I tell my story. It helps me. I'm not just doing it for them. It helps me. The more I'm telling it, the more I think of all that bad times and I stay clean.
I think that's interesting. I feel the same as well with things that I've been through. The more I talk about it, like even in these conversations now, it's like its own therapy.
It is. It's like a bit of therapy, yeah.
Just talking about it.
Maybe I need therapy as well, like, or something, because I used to always think, I don't care, jail didn't bother me. I used to have discussions with my wife, and I've learned in the rooms as well, like, jail probably did bother you.
Yeah.
Every day you were cautious. You could have a fight in prison over the most tiniest thing, yeah? Especially disrespect. If someone disrespects you, they got
This straight away, it's put you on high alert for like 15 years straight.
On high alert, straight.
Let alone the other 20 years out, like 10 years out doing whatever you was doing. Like you're on high alert.
All the time.
So now think about the stress on your body.
Sometimes you're naughty in jail, you have to go to the punishment block. You're locked up down there forever, like in little dungeon cells. I didn't realise at the time, everything was playing with my mind. Right now, I'm sticking to my program.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep going. Like I have commitments. Like I went to a Friday night one meeting the other day, and there's commitments going. So basically, a commitment is where you get on the committee in there. So like there'll be a job. Someone's got to put the chairs away. Someone's got to run the meeting. Someone's got to sit up front. Someone's got to wash the plates or the cups for the coffee. And that was the only job going. But I want a commitment. So it proves that you're going to turn up every Friday without fail and keep this meeting going to keep the newcomers clean and off the streets. Yeah. And I took washing up. I now wash up cups on a Friday. Do I care? No. It's better than standing in a pub toilet sniffing coke.
Well, I think the main thing, we'll talk about this now as well, is like having purpose with what you do. I think with your business, that's a big thing as well. You've come from crime, street life, prison, addiction, and you was able to pull yourself out of that, and now you've got a business that's doing well.
If you put mine into like a play role, all that crazy stuff, if I would have stayed at school, got an education or whatever, and then gone on and got my own business back then, like my business would be massive. I didn't. I wasted my whole life. But maybe I had to.
You're in a very powerful position because you've learned so much from this, and now you can help a lot of people. And I think the fact you're doing that is massive. And I hope you're proud of yourself for that.
I am. Sometimes I look and think I've come far. Like I've come far from what I had. I just bought my house with my wife the other day. Like,
Congratulations,
we actually own our own house. Little things like that. I didn't dream of that as a criminal. Because as a criminal, if you buy your own house, they
No
can take it back
taxes.
off you.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
get
yeah.
caught.
Of course.
Like now I own stuff where they can knock on my door. I pay my taxes now. Like I do everything legitimately. Yeah, it does feel good. It does feel good. And I feel like a proud dad now, like a good dad. I am a good dad. I'm always with my children.
Yes.
I was probably a good dad when I was on drugs, but I wasn't an actual dad, because how can you be? You're off your face on cocaine. You can't actually be a dad when you're off your nut on drugs. It's impossible.
So obviously you've gone through the whole motions. You've been prison, addiction, street life. You've been suicidal. If there was someone now in their shed, in the same situation you was in, belt round their neck, ready to go, one piece of advice would you give them right now?
Please don't do it. Please don't, because once you're gone, you're gone. But the devastation you're going to leave behind is just heartbreaking for everybody involved. Whether you've got children or whether you ain't got children, it's absolutely like you're dead. Once you've done it, it's final. You're gone. You're never, ever going to come back from that. Ever. You're gone. If you don't do it, there's a solution. There is hope. There's definitely hope out there that you can change. Because if you get anything from what I've just told you, I couldn't walk into a pub and I had to take cocaine on every occasion. Then I thought of suicide. Then I got through that night, and I woke up the next day and life got a little bit better when I went to Cocaine Anonymous meetings. And then it got a little bit more better. And then it just got better and better and better. And I'm still here. But if I would have done it that day, right now my kids would be visiting a gravestone like I visit for my friends what are dead, because the drink and drugs killed them. And it's sad. It's actually sad to anybody that's in that position where they're going to think about killing themselves. Please don't. Get through tonight. Just get through tonight. However much you've got to suffer, get through it. When you're sober the next day, make that call. Cocaine Anonymous has a phone number open 24 hours. You call it, someone sets you up for a meeting. There's no police, there's no government, there's no social. So if you've got children, you're a woman or something like that, and you want to come to a meeting, because that's a question I get asked quite a lot. Don't listen to it. There's no social services there or nothing. You can actually come to a meeting with your child on your lap if you've got no one to look after it, and come and get clean, or at least come and hear it out. Because if you come and hear it out, your life can get a whole lot better. If you stick to the program, your life will definitely get better. That's it, really.
Wise words, bro. Bro, that's going to definitely help a lot of people. Trust me. People are going to be watching this now in situations where you've been in certain times of your life, and it's going to help, bro. It's going to help. Trust me. They need to hear this. We need more of this open conversation.
Another thing, like in the rooms, there's loads of young people coming in.
How young?
When I share back to a young person, young 20s, 18s, girls and boys, addicted to ketamine, addicted to drugs I've not took, ketamine, weed. People think weed's not a problem. If you're spending £300 a week on weed and you smoke it all day, every day, and if you can't go a day without a joint, then you're exactly the same as a man on cocaine.
100%. I think if you're taking a drug to like escape, which most people are, and you have to take it regularly, you're addicted.
Yeah, but you know, like people on weed, they say, "Oh no, I'm not an addict. Cocaine." You're an addict. Because if I take your weed off you today and you get grumpy, you've got mental health problems.
Itching, you're gonna go buy more.
Yeah, and if you're spending £400 a week on weed, that's 400 quid you could put into your kid's savings account. You're an addict. Don't think you're not an addict, because I've met people in the rooms who just smoke weed and they've got real bad problems, but they come in there and they get clean and their life gets better. Their mental health gets better. You don't take drugs, mental health. I'm not saying you can't have mental health the other way around, but I do believe drugs is 90% of it.
Yep, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
And alcohol.
Yeah. I agree with you. It must be some sort of chemical and whatever it does to the brain.
We're born with an illness. Anyone who's an addict, it's actually an illness.
So do you feel like it's hereditary? Do you feel like it's in?
No, I just think each one of us get it. I think we're born with it. I don't think it comes from anywhere, because I've listened to people who was born into real wealthy families and everything was perfect for them, and then the daughter becomes an addict. Like, it's just crazy. No one in the house drinks, but the daughter becomes an addict. And then I've heard other stories, terrible stories of abuse. Kids have been abused sexually, and they use that as a blackout to take drugs. But then when they as I said, these people in these rooms, so I've heard stories like this, and they're now clean. They're now clean, 15 years clean. They were raped as a child.
Yeah,
You want to be brutal about it. That, if anything, that's a great reason to take drugs, I'd think. But it's not. And their mental health is gone, and they get clean, and then they tell their story, because the newcomer what comes through that door tonight could be a victim who's been hurt as a child, and they hear it, and they think, wow, that man or woman just sat up there and said that to this whole crowd of people, and then we all back each other and stick up for each other, and we be friends. And recovery is beautiful, man. It's actually a beautiful place to be. So you just got to come and trust the first meeting.
I feel like what's been interesting with my journey as well is I feel like, and it's probably been like this forever though, is that no matter what I do, I overindulge in. So if it is weed, if it is any drugs, or even if it's gym or something,
that's
or
the addict in you.
It's like everything I do, I have to do it a lot, and I need routine with it. Not like routine with drinking, but it's almost a routine because it's like you're addicted to doing that and getting that.
If you drunk too much tonight, you don't really want to go gym tomorrow, do you?
No. But you know what? I've been to a point where I've been like, maybe addicted to drugs and then training, and you'll pilot mode it to make it work, and then you're thinking it's okay. You trick yourself. You say it's okay, but you'll go home and do what you need to do, but it's not enough. It's not good enough, bro. And you're lying to yourself, and it's I
think everyone's got addict in them, haven't they?
Yeah. And now I feel like coming away from certain drugs and lifestyles, I still search for that dopamine hit. Yeah. So when you take cocaine, it's a dopamine hit to the brain straight away.
Straight away, bomb.
Yeah. And so I chase that now with like training and like even plunge pools and you get it. It's not the same. Don't get me wrong. No. It's not the same, but
it's a lot better than other things.
It's a lot better than other things, but you're still chasing it.
Yeah.
And I struggle to chill without hitting them dopamine. So it's interesting, but I mean, bro, I'm super proud of your journey.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on and sharing everything.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot of people are going to learn from this, from your story.
Save one or help one. That's what it's all about.
100%.
About going back in, and not everyone in recovery needs to tell their story.
Yeah.
Because they just don't. They're embarrassed, they're shy, or they don't want anyone to know. Fair play to them. But it takes a few to tell it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one will know about it.
100%.
Come to these rooms. You doing this, thank you for having me on, because it's you what's going to show this to someone who's going to see it. It might be me speaking, but without you having this platform, you've probably saved a life tonight. Well, when they see it, you've saved a life. You will save a life. You'll save something. You'll save someone, and just help someone. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, bro. And that's what we're here to do.
Thank you.
Save lives. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Big love.
It's been an amazing conversation. A lot of people can learn from it.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yeah.
But good luck with everything you're doing. Stay winning, stay clean.
Yeah.
Because you're living a great life now, bro. And
I'll give you an update soon. When
100%. We're going to be coming back here very soon.
I want my 15 months back. I'm fighting for that right now. I know I'm going to get it.
Yep.
And I'm going to work my programs. Never going to put the program down. Put the program down, I fucked up.
Okay.
So there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I thought I was better than the program. Once again, I got humbled. And I know to go back at it. And that's what I'm doing.
For the people, where can they find you?
On my Instagram, E McGinty Recovery. It's just an Instagram I started up really just for my friends, and just loads of people are following it now. And I get a lot of messages on it, and I will answer every single person.
Yes.
Whether you get the answer there and then, if your life's in danger, because sometimes I get that as well.
Yeah.
Like they're pickled.
Yeah, I've been there before.
And then I'm on them. On them quick time.
Yeah, you see.
And then so far it's been all right, but there's other people who have messaged and they've come to the rooms and they're still clean today. Like, I know girls and boys who have come to the rooms, not because of me.
But it is because of you though, bro.
Yeah, I know, but
what you've done, the work
I give
you're
them a
doing.
lift. Like I'll say, where do you live? If they're not far from me, I'll come pick you up. And if they say, oh, I'm shy to see anyone at that Hayes meeting, so I'll say, no problem.
Yeah.
I've got one 30
30
miles away, and I'll put them in the car and I drive them far away.
My friend had the same situation, didn't want to go local. Yeah. Drove him out somewhere far, and he got there. He goes there every week now. And you're doing that for the people, bro.
Yeah, I do it.
And you're picking them up and you're taking them there.
I take them, yeah.
Even if you just give them the info to where they're going.
I do that, but if they're stuck, I give them a lift. But it's all about you. Like, if you really want to change, you really want to, your mum, your dad, your children.
Yep.
No one's going to save you.
Yep.
You're not going to give up because none of them. My mum died before she got to see me clean. She's watching me from above now, but she died before she went. All she ever wanted me to get off drugs. It's happened, but she didn't get to see it.
She's watching you.
Your children, to any addict out there, yeah, none of them are going to save you. I didn't give up because I love my wife. I didn't give up for anything. I was still going to do it. I loved her. I just couldn't say no to drugs.
Yes.
But she saved my life by finding CA. And she played a massive part in it. Like I take my hat off to my wife. For not many wives hang around for that long. She gave me a chance. And a chance.
Yes.
And a chance. So she clearly loved me. And I've let her down millions of times. And I hope I never let her down again. And I hope our life just gets better and better.
It's going to, bro. I believe in you. I believe in you. And we're definitely going to be catching up real soon.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be keeping it clean now.
Yeah.
Rolling with that clean energy.
I'm going for my other addiction, a Nando's.
Hey, what you got? What medium hot?
Up there, I'll see it up there, Nando's.
We'll go for Nando's after this, bro. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, cool.
I appreciate you, and we'll catch up soon, bro.
Yeah, big love. Thank you very much. Cheers.
No,
thank you.
Take care. Yes, my people, that's a wrap for that episode with my brother Eddie. Another great episode with lots of gems being dropped. I hope you enjoyed it. If you can do us a big favor and subscribe to us on the YouTube and follow us on all the socials, which you can find underneath in the link below. I hope you're all having an amazing day, but if you're not, you're in the right place.
Clean energy. Clean energy.